Parents skipped my award but took the family to my brother's tournament. I went no contact. A year later, I made Forbes 30 under 30. Brother found the magazine at his dentist and called Dad. How did he? My parents skipped my award ceremony but took the whole family to my brother's basketball tournament the same weekend. I went no contact. A year later, I made Forbes 30 under 30. My brother found the magazine sitting in his dentist's waiting room and called my dad in a panic. Let me start from the beginning. My brother Trent was the athlete, 6'2" by sophomore year, varsity basketball since he was 14. My parents built their entire identity around his games. Every Friday night was Trent's game. Every Saturday morning was Trent's practice. Every dinner conversation was Trent's stats, or Trent's coach, or Trent's chances at a scholarship. I was 2 years younger, and I built apps. I started coding at 12. By 15, I'd built a study tool that half my school used. By 17, I'd launched a small app that helped local restaurants manage online orders. It made a little money, but it was real. My parents didn't understand what I did and didn't try to. When I showed Dad the app, he glanced at it for 5 seconds and asked if I'd seen Trent's highlight reel. Mom was the same. I once won a regional coding competition and she said, "Oh, that's nice," then asked me to drive Trent to practice. The breaking point came senior year. I was nominated for a Young Innovator Award through a national tech foundation. It was a big deal. They flew nominees to a ceremony in Chicago. I got a +2 for guests. I told my parents 3 months in advance. I put it on the family calendar. I reminded them twice. The ceremony was on a Saturday in March. 2 weeks before, Trent's basketball team made regionals. The tournament was the same weekend, in a different state. Dad sat me down at the kitchen table and said, "Son, we've got a conflict. Trent's team needs the support. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for him." I said my ceremony was once in a lifetime too. Dad said we'll catch the highlights later. Mom said maybe Grandma can go with you. Grandma was 78 and lived 4 hours away. They didn't even call her to ask. They just said it and moved on. I went to Chicago alone. I sat at a table full of other nominees whose families were there hugging them and taking photos. When they called my name, I walked up to that stage and received my award in front of 400 people, and my 2 seats were empty. I didn't cry. I just looked at those chairs and something inside me shut off. I flew home the next day. Trent's team lost in the second round. When I walked in the door, Mom said, "Oh, how was your little trip?" I set the award on the kitchen counter. She didn't look at it. I went to my room and started planning. I graduated 2 months later. I had scholarship offers for computer science, but I deferred. I had $11,000 saved from the restaurant app, and I used it to start a company, a real one. I moved out the week after graduation into a shared apartment with 2 other guys I met at the Chicago ceremony. I told my parents I was leaving. Dad said, "Don't come crying when it doesn't work out." Mom said I was making a mistake. Trent said nothing. He was at practice. I stopped calling after the first month. They didn't notice for 6 weeks. Mom finally texted, "Where have you been?" I didn't reply. Dad called a week later. I didn't pick up. Trent never reached out once. I worked 16-hour days for a year. I built a platform that connected small businesses with affordable tech tools. Simple idea, hard execution. I pitched to investors and got rejected 40 times before someone said yes. That first check was $250,000. I hired 3 people. 6 months later, I closed a second round, then a third. By the time I was 23, the company had 50 employees and was processing transactions for over 2,000 businesses. Forbes reached out in the fall for their annual 30 under 30 list. They interviewed me, took photos, ran the profile. When the issue came out, my face was on page 84 with a write-up about the company and the origin story. I didn't tell my family. 3 weeks after the issue hit newsstands, my phone rang. It was a number I hadn't seen in over a year. Dad. I didn't answer. He called again. Then Trent called. Then Mom called twice. Then Dad sent a text. "Your brother was at the dentist and saw a magazine. Call me back." I read it and put my phone down. Mom sent a text an hour later. "Why didn't you tell us? We are so proud of you." I stared at that message for a long time. Proud. They were proud now. They weren't proud when I won the award. They weren't proud when I showed them my first app. They were proud because a magazine told them to be. Trent texted that night. "Bro, that's insane. Can I come see your office?" The same brother who never once asked what I was building, who never noticed I was gone, who only knew I existed when my face showed up next to an article he couldn't ignore. I didn't respond to any of them. Not that night, not the next day, not the next week. Dad left a voicemail a month later. His voice cracked. "I know we missed a lot. I'm sorry. I listened to it once. Then I deleted it. My company just crossed 100 employees. We're opening a second office next quarter. The award from Chicago sits on my desk. The 2 empty chairs don't haunt me anymore. They remind me who showed up and who didn't. And the answer to Trent's question, how did he do it, is simple. I did it alone, the same way I've done everything.